All right. Come on. Live on the YouTube. We are. Sorry, just checking, trying to link this to the Facebook page. You may. Question mark? Press it one more time. Videos. Hey, let's not have the random noises, bud. You can talk and stuff, but random noises can sound weird. Sweet. Got it. Sweet. All right. Well, welcome back. Sorry for the slight delay. We, like I said yesterday, we started using a different way of painting with streaming, where it's kind of easier for me to stream, and yeah, we just kind of got that settled out. So thanks for coming back, those of you that are watching us again. Okay, we got that up. Pull up my stream window. Actually, let's share this real quick. And there we go. All right, so we're gonna paint up Rattlebones some more. Move this up just so you can see it. So yesterday we got her painted to this spot. I am gonna go ahead and do her base real quick. It's just something that won't take me much time to do, but I do need this. Collect that. There we go. Because I'm just gonna paint her base up real quick and do that as I paint up her little guys. So, and like I said, when I do a simple base for games like this, especially board games, I just use this black acrylic, and it just kind of creates a black base. Just because it kind of keeps it looking clean. Okay. And it's going to take probably, sorry, I know I'm a little bit out of here, but slide out the totems. And it's going to take a couple layers, but I just want a nice kind of clean, simple base for the shop. So this is just pretty much for demoing and just people that haven't played the games a lot, just kind of check it out. So that's why it's kind of getting the quicker paint job. So I'll just let that set on there, and you can still see some of the tan in it. So that's why we're just going to let that kind of set as we paint these other little masks and totems and little things. All right, so something I'm going to use today that I'm going to try this Citadel Grabber. I got this from Jacob at the Final Round Game Shop. Something I'm going to try using a little bit more, just because I think it'll help me out as far as I'm at least going to see if it helps out with painting on video to kind of keep my sausage fingers out of the picture. Because I'll kind of hold it like this as I paint. I think that might work. So we'll hold that there for you guys. If not, try something else. Always trying to up the game. Let's use this contrast red for this other color. Cool. I think that might work out pretty well. Yeah, and this is something that I actually just used. I did a kind of like a hobby hangout last night where me and my friend Eric did like a paint party but streamed it. And that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. We actually just kind of painted for probably about, man, it ended up being maybe about 2 hours. Let me make sure I got that off because that could be annoying. Oh, you guys don't hear the desktop audio. Yeah, and the stream turned out pretty good because basically we streamed it where we had him kind of in the background. And then this camera in the foreground, so you could kind of see, but you could hear both. And it turned out really well. It's something I'm going to try with several of my buddies that also like to paint. And just call it like the Rage Quit Wire Paint Party. The paint party. Right now doing a paint party with my son Ty. Hey. Painting the zombie side. We actually just played zombie side and we barely got the civilians out alive. But we did it. Yeah, this is actually a lot better for camera. I believe. I just got to get used to kind of manipulating it. But I feel like my sausage fingers will be out of the way more. So you can actually see what I'm painting up. Okay. I almost think I'll leave this mask that color and then just wash it. Just have like a brown mask on there. Maybe I'll use the brown contrast. Let's give it a try. Cool. Okay, we'll use the yellow contrast right there. Kind of different. And then let's get this brown contrast. Doing a little contrast heavy on these models just because I know they're gonna have that dirtier look to them. Where's the brown? There it is. So that's why I'm leaning a little bit more on these contrast paints for these models. Let's pull this over a little bit. There we go. Oh, I can see both chats. That way if people want to hop on and chat, they can. And I can still see it. Okay, I think we'll call that guy kind of good before we do the wash here. Do this guy next. This guy's kind of cool. Yeah, his paint handle's kind of cool. It's like spring loaded. I did have some silver on him. I'll go back and do that later though. Let's do this kind of like brown hair-ish stuff. These kind of remind me of the totems, like off of Muppet Treasure Island. They're like Humalaka. Something not right. Many wicked things. Ty, sing the rest. You saw Muppet Treasure Island with us, didn't you? Yeah, but you guys are just weird. That's what he really meant to say. Hey, be quiet over there. Peanut gallery. So this is something else you can kind of do with these contrast paints. So people are like, oh, you have to prime white, or you have to do that to get the full effect of the contrast paint. So you can paint the areas that you're going to use the contrast paints that you're going to paint. You can put white underneath it, like dry brush it, or even just kind of cake it on there and then just do your contrast paint over it. That'll work. Okay, I think that's all we want there. Let's go to this red mask. And this handheld thing actually keeps a really good grip on the model. I'm actually kind of impressed by it. I was actually debating on getting a bigger one. That way I could have one for the champions as well. Because Jacob has this one, which is for, I think it's for 25 and 40 millimeters, so 25 and up to 40. Whereas the other one can go 50 to, I want to say it's 75 millimeter maybe. And pretty impressed with it. It changes a little bit of the way I paint though, because instead of doing what I usually do, which is I'll hit a color up, go to the next model, when you use this, you just, unless you want to spring load, which I think would waste time in the long run, So instead of doing that, I just speed paint by, it's like, okay, let's get this color on this, get all my colors down. And then from there, then switch to your next model. So it just changes my steps a little bit. It's like here, I'm trying to get all these contrast paints on. And then I'll work on all the other colors with my other paints, and then I'll go and wash them. Give them a wash. Okay. Yeah, let me comment if you go back and watch this, whether you think this kind of gives it. We're also working on getting like a boon to get the top-down look. So I think that'll make the lighting better on the painting, so you guys will be able to see it a little clearer, because you can see the detail quite a bit. But if the camera was up here, then you would be able to see pretty much what I'm seeing, which I think will make for better recording. Okay. Let's get that yellow kind of there. Just remember, dead men tell no tales. All right, Ty. Because I'm painting these tikis and they remind me of the Muppets. Yeah, so the opening scene, they have these tikis that are singing part of the main song. So they're like, Kumalaka. So I just have that stuck in my head.
Where's the pinky from?
The pink?
Mm-hmm.
So I use this pink first, and then I highlight with that pink after I wash.
Did you highlight with the blue thing?
Yep, so after you're done washing the blue, you can use that one. Yep. This banner is pretty gnarly. Wouldn't want to be whoever this champion is. I say, Ty, I could beat you at another game of Godtear. I don't know, whenever. We can actually try to play with 2 champions. Because you've only played the one-on-one. You can have up to 3 champions on your team. I don't know, unless you didn't like Godtear when you played. Better when you won the 2 times, right? Okay, good.
Of course, the one time I lost.
I know. People didn't get to see you beat me. That's right. Undefeated on camera. As far as people know. I have. Not on camera. Yeah, so something I've been telling people that if you want to kind of do like come online and paint, let me know because I'm doing these like paint parties with like pretty much just friends, and I wouldn't even mind doing it just with people that I know from online. So just hit me up in the comments or hit me up on uh, Twitter, Facebook page. I got one of my buddies from Kansas that we're gonna try it, I think, Thursday. And he's actually a way better painter than I am. He does some really cool things. I'm excited to check that one out. Plus, it's always better when you have more people on when you paint because it's kind of like you can bounce ideas off of each other. You can ask each other questions. So I like it quite a bit. All right, I think we're good there. We got some over there. These followers have more detail than Rattlebones. Read the bones. Welcome to the boneyard. Ty, welcome to the boneyard. All right, I think we're good with the brown there. Yeah, I kind of like this little Citadel handle thing. It's kind of cool. That's my wash brown. Where the heck did my... There it is. Where did my red go? Yeah, so these models are going to be quite a bit contrast. But like I did yesterday with the contrast, we will come back and highlight it where we want it to pop a little bit more. But with Rattlebones and the followers here, we're definitely leaning a little more on the contrast paints. Just because they're starting to... They look good, they paint quick. Even though there's a lot of different detail on these followers. There's more detail on these followers than actually Rattlebones. Okay. Let's get that. And pink green on you. Let's do that. Let's do it. Let me check this real quick. Okay. Let's do this brown. Or sorry, this green. Yeah, I think when I start doing these champions, I think I need to pick up the 50 mil one of these because those champion bases are 50 millimeter, or they're about. I don't think they're 50. Because yeah, this is. I think this is better. It's just easier to see kind of what I'm doing on the camera. All right. Doing good. Can't wait to get this wash on these totems. They're gonna pop pretty well. There's a lot of details just in the cloth that these have. They just look pretty good. I was playing Zombicide with Ty just a little bit ago, and we found out we need to paint more of those aliens because some of those scenarios they start to come out of the woodwork. Right, Ty? It's kind of crazy. Okay. Just answering a message real quick. All right. Do I need this for? Yes, I do. So I'll leave that green out because this guy's ready for some metals. Look at this guy. Paint him up. Yeah, last night I was painting the Malifaux Plague keyword. Okay, you kind of got some weird wood there, so. I am not going to paint all of Chris's stuff, Josh. That is not going to happen. But the good news is I play a lot of games, so I'm not going to run out because I got all my Malifaux stuff. I got all my Baratheon starter stuff that I still have to paint. What else do I got to paint? I'm missing something. What am I missing? I have my Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff I got to paint. So there is always stuff, but definitely if Steamforge keeps on. I don't even have all the Godtear stuff yet, so actually Mournfang's one that I got sitting over there that I'm going to paint up to. That I'm really excited about him. I read what he did and I was like, holy crap. I need to get me in some of that. Okay. Yeah, and the funny thing is, a lot of the stuff I paint on here is actually not even mine. Like, this is actually our local game stores, and he just gave it to me to paint on stream.
Oh, I'm done for the day.
Good job, bud. You want to show me what you got done over there?
Not really good yet.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's go back and my link finish. Well, not finish.
I like that. That's coming along.
Get
Look
on
how good that looks on the camera.
take
Not bad. Just got to highlight it and stuff. Did you already wash it?
No.
Oh, see, you haven't even washed it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and
Well, it's always just kind of improving it until it's done. But it looks good. I like it. Because we need to kill off the aliens. Yeah, so I got a lot of stuff I got to paint. I didn't even mention that Zombicide stuff that we've been playing because we got the expansions for invaders. So we got a bunch of models to paint for that game too as we go along. But Ty's started to crank out some more of those aliens. Okay, we'll paint that kind of that color. And do that brown, we'll do that black. Cool. Cool. Right. Am I even in? Okay, I am. All right, let's get that brown. Yeah, let's see. The models I don't have yet. I don't have Lorsan for Godtear. I don't have Rodri. I don't have the other starter with Finvar and Titus. I don't have Blackjaw. I don't have. I don't have Shale. Which Shale's kind of weird because I think Shale you can only get online. Like, I think I talked to Jacob from the final round, and I think he said it was just a web exclusive. You can only get through the web store, I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was right. Any other ones I don't have? I feel like I'm missing a Maelstrom. I don't know. I do have a good amount though, and I'm excited to keep on painting them because the models are really cool. I actually talked to the guy from California because I was telling him how the podcast were really starting to move into recording a lot of Godtear because just Chris and I are both really excited about it. And he was just like, yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm trying to drum up some more interest in the States. I do feel like in the US we're a little bit behind when it comes to Godtear. Just because there aren't a lot of people kind of talking about it yet, but it is a superb game. I'm really happy with it. Glad I finally jumped on the train. Oh, okay, we have Mr. Chris Yuen in the chat. Wonder if Chris is done with his Rengosh yet. Because Chris was painting up his Rengosh and it's coming along pretty good. Coming along. Ah, Mr. Dennis, I presume. I would be curious, because Dennis is a person I'm going to do some painting with on the stream, kind of like last night we did this. My friend Eric and I did a paint party. So we got together and we did an online stream where we had the video kind of focus on my stuff, but he was kind of in the corner. And I'd be curious. So Dennis and I are going to try to do that on Thursday. But I'd be curious what Dennis thinks about this because Dennis likes to control kind of the paints and really has great artistic talent for painting miniatures. So I'd just be curious to see if he's used the contrast paints and if it's something he enjoys. And if you want to type a response, Dennis, you can. If not, you can just save it for Thursday when we do some painting. Dennis and I used to do a lot of painting while we were just talking on like Skype and stuff. I think Google Hangouts maybe. And we used to just send pictures kind of back and forth of what we were painting. So this will be cool because we can actually just, have the cameras in front of us. Okay. Oh, I can see your chat, Dennis. You're in the chat right now. Yeah, the chat for the Facebook, if you just click on the video, it should have a side chat that opens up in the video. And wherever you just type that Dennis, you just typed in the chat. Whereas if you comment in the post, like I had one of my friends Chad do yesterday, where if you do that in the post, then it kind of is just in wherever you posted it. It's not actually in the chat for the video. Well, good. I'm glad you like contrast paints. Yeah, I think they provide you with another tool just to do a lot of the same stuff that you like to do when you paint. So to me, it's just saved a lot of time and lets me kind of create some cool effects that I also couldn't do before. So I'm really excited about it. And I need the black. Yeah, Dennis, I'll show you this. I don't know if you've seen or messed with Godtear at all, but I'll show you the champion for this unit or this group. It's kind of like an Orc Shaman, which I know you're all about that kind of stuff. Once I finish this follower, I'll pull it up. I just love bounce, and that's one thing I miss about painting with Dennis a lot, and just painting with people I know, is you can really bounce ideas off of each other. And Dennis is great for that because Dennis actually has a lot of color theory experience and a lot of different techniques you can try to use. So it's going to be fun to paint with Dennis on Thursday because he just always great ideas. Yeah, they are. So I've almost the inks are kind of like that, but I don't know. I feel like the contrast paints are a little easier to control than inks. I feel like the inks were tougher to keep on one spot on the model, where this works pretty good. What's up, bud? You all right? Get a breather. You're not dying on me, are you?
No.
Okay. Good.
Started how to do today. No, since we
Did Rena come up and ask you to tell you to ask me?
No, she's with the client.
Okay.
I think I might have corona.
No, you don't. You just need it.
Breath.
Yeah, that's because you haven't been outside in a while.
I was outside yesterday.
Yeah, you should probably start going out at least once a day. I'll think about it.
No, man.
Well, it's not going to be right now if you need an answer now.
Are you going to make me wait till the end of the day? Because if you are...
I am not going to make you wait till the end of the day, but at least to the end of this paint session. Okay. All right.
But after the paint session, we're going to go outside.
See what time it is, bud. All right, so this is for Dennis, but also for those of you that weren't here yesterday when I painted Half Dusk, I'm going to do another layer on the base while I have her out. So this orc kind of shaman that puts hexes on people. And then she kind of has these gnarly dreads in the back. So she turned out really good. I was really happy with this model when I painted her up. So that's the champion for this. And we'll go ahead and put another layer on her base so it can get a little darker with the black. Thanks, man. Yeah, I should still have the video on our feed, and then it should also have uploaded to YouTube. I just haven't put the thumbnails on it yet. But yeah, she turned out pretty good. Female orcs are kind of really interesting models in general. Um, Anytime there's a female orc, whether it's World of Warcraft or this D&D, they have a lot of character because they're meant to be more masculine, but they also have this kind of real nice touch of femininity to it. Okay. Let that go a little bit more. Yeah, so she's like an orc shaman, and she puts hexes on people. It's a really cool mini. We got one more of these, and then we're going to put metals on, and then we'll do a wash on them, and I might even wash this soon here. All right, this guy's kind of weird. Let's do red, and we'll do black. No, this should be red. Can't have him sacrificing a chicken, Lou. Have people throwing up in the locker room. This model's kind of weird. I'm putting it up. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it kind of looks like a skinned something kind of animal that's now walking around on these bone stilts. Really kind of weird. Kind of terrifying when you think about it. All right. Okay, cool. That'll work. That'll work. Okay, I think we got that red where we want it. Let's get that black back. We'll do kind of leather there. That's cool. Do you do a lot of airbrushing with your minis now, Dennis? I tried doing an airbrush, but it's just too slow for me. Too slow paint job wise. Because I want to paint fast, and in my experience, you just can't paint fast with airbrushes. There's too much in between time with cleaning that I want to already be on the next color. So that was my problem with it. Yeah. Yeah, I gave it a shot. I actually got it for Christmas one year, and I tried using it, and I just couldn't find it. The only thing I would use it for was priming, but I just didn't even start using it for that. So I just got rid of it. As I say, Dennis knows I paint fast. Can't let an airbrush because it does take a while. Because the problem is you can't speed cleaning out your airbrush because if you do, then you risk damaging it. So you really can't. Because like that half tusk model, for example, I got her painted probably within a little over an hour, right? No way I could have done that with an airbrush. Just because once again, just switching out so much with the paints, this would not work as well. All right, how are we looking here? Okay, good. Let's get the back side of this. Hey, it's old Tever. What's up, kid? Benny, oh, I'm gonna shoot, dude, Kevin. Wait till you check out this model. So this model is for a game called Godtear, and the model is an orc, but it's a orc shaman. So this is right. Sorry, you guys can't see this, but this is the best angle I can use to get that. So the model, the champion, which is the one that controls these little voodoo dolls, which I can take this guy off now. So we have these voodoo dolls that this orc shaman controls. So we have this one. These are all little voodoo dolls that the orc shaman controls, right? So use it to hex you and all this stuff. They have these little tiki masks on. So really cool models. But the model that is one that you will like, Kevin, is this Orc Shaman right here. There we go. So like something straight out of like Blizzard's World of Warcraft, right? And she's really cool. So I showed this to Dennis and he was all about it. But really cool model. I enjoyed it. She came out really good. All right, so let's get the base for this. Just do a brown, I think. Sure. Sure. I'll do a brown wash of this. Okay. Yeah, definitely cool model. I saw this and I'm just like, dude, Orc Shaman, World of Warcraft. Okay, cool. So we got that. All right, let's get some silver. And where's my darker silver? That's not it. That is it, I believe. Yep, Ironbreaker. Yeah, cheap airbrushes, because the problem is, like, what I would consider a cheap airbrush, or sorry, what somebody else might consider a cheap airbrush is, and I'm actually going to, I'm just going to not clamp those because this shouldn't take that long. But a cheap airbrush is like, what, $100 maybe? And to me, that's not cheap, right? To me, that's like, holy crap, that's like, I don't know, I could get how many brushes for $100? A lot. Even like really expensive ones. I get a lot of paint for that. And the fact that they can break from just lack of maintenance is concerning. A cheap airbrush is $15. Is that legit? Godtear on Amazon? It can be. You gotta send me a link. I don't believe that you can get a. I mean, I guess that would be cheap, right? How long that lasts you? Like a couple paint sessions, and then you're like, crap, it broke. Okay, so you just gotta use it for primer and maybe like putting a wash or a varnish on it. Crap, didn't mean to do that. Okay, good. Any other metal? Nope, not on that guy. Pachow. No metal on you. You have a little metal on your dreads. Nice. That should be good. Any metal on this? Yep. Cool. I think that's about it. All right, I'll take a look at that. What's up, man?
Come look at it. Check out the merch.
Don't want to get demonetized. So you're gonna have to start printing out some T-shirts, kind of like the one I have.
Oh yeah, you should do merch.
Check out the merch, y'all.
It's in the link below.
Check out the links below. It's your boy.
Let it go, man.
You don't think that's funny?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I'll stop picking on you then.
Thank you. And it was just some random name that was in the default section, okay?
Okay. So you didn't come up with it?
No.
No, because that would have been a cool name. I won't explain that one because my son told me not to. All right. Cool. Kind of working this over before we put a wash on some of it. We're not going to put a wash on a lot of it though, because we're actually just going to kind of build up from there. But there are some spots I want to pull out the detail with like a black wash and a brown wash on this kind of bone, the boneyard. All right. So we're going to put a black wash on some parts of these models, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's kind of see how we're doing before that, though. We're little tikis. Tikis, and then boom, Mama Orc. Bum, 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 bum. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna check out this real quick. All right, sorry, just ordering this up here. All right, let's check out this. And let's see here if I go to my OBS. Okay, let's go with. All right, so that's the one that we're looking at. So Dennis just sent me this link for a cheap airbrush. That's better than I thought it would be. I mean, it's gravity fed, which is good. Has extra. Okay, so that's actually. Ooh, it even has a dropper. Okay, I could get behind that airbrush. Hmm. Yeah, because the airbrush that I got, Dennis, was like, I mean, at least $100, and it was pretty good. All right, let's go back. Sorry, I just need to see the chat. There we go. Okay. Cool, we got it. All right, so we're gonna do some washing. All right, I need this. Yeah, I can't remember the brand I had. I want to say it was like an Igatawa. It was something like that. I can't remember the exact version name. Um, okay, so I want the brown wash first, which is right here. We're gonna get some of this bone color washed first. Got this liquid talent going on. Gotta ask my buddy Chris how he's doing. He had him some kidney stones again, so we'll see if he's got them worked out or if it's still bugging him. That's something I can go my whole life without experiencing. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm sure he wishes, obviously, he too, but don't envy anybody that has to go through that. All right, so that's cool. We got our brown base for the skeleton. I was gonna say at that time, that Dennis says sometimes he doesn't even clean the cheapo airbrush, and honestly, at that point, it's like sometimes it's just cheaper instead of wasting the time. Like I'm sure if you got it so caked on there, it's like, oh, know what? Just bring the $15. I'm not cleaning this one. This one's DOA. It's dead. Gotta let it go. All those fun sayings. Cool. Got you there. It's like some weird Marilyn Manson crap right here. Got one of his mechanical animals. We'll do some black wash in there. Let's get those tusks. All right, got the brown wash. We'll check it out. Do the black wash. let it sit. Yeah. Airbrush, and that's what I'm saying. Airbrushes are just so finicky because, like, this brush, once it goes to crap, I can use. So this used to be a good brush that I could use, but you start to see how it's fraying, and now I'm using it as a wash. And if it gets worse, then I'll start using it as a base brush. So brushes kind of have this cycle that you can move them through, and then they just die, right? I'll show you this one brush. Is this the one? Yeah, so this is one right now I'm using for scenery, and this thing, or for scenery, for scenic basing, and it's this. Actually, I'm going to throw this out because it's done. But I was using this for some of the texture paints, and you can see this thing's dead. So this is actually like KOA. This thing's knocked out. All right, so let's get back to that. You, I don't need. So we'll start going through you guys. Let's get this black wash out. How long have we been going for? About an hour. I'm going to use this other brush. And some of this, the brown wash isn't going to be set yet, and that's fine. Because I actually want it that way. Just because it's going to make this kind of bone interesting and textured and okay. Some of this red contrast, we'll put that on. Because like I said before, the contrast is good start. But like right there, it didn't pull out some of the detail that I wanted to. So that's why I added this black wash. The phone. Sorry, just gotta keep up on the old text. Did I? It's not what I'm showing. That's fine. Why y'all out of breath again? All right, we'll call that a good. Right there. This little guy. Yeah, I'm putting a wash on the red on this guy just to pull out some of these cloth folds a little bit more. Yeah, I was gonna say Jacob's in the chat now. I'm pretty sure we're live. He came in, he's like, are you live, dog? I'm all like, what? Not like that, but. So it looks live on my end. Crap. Did not mean for that to happen. Oh, I think my son's playing basketball. I was like, what is he doing? Playing the ball. We got a real basketball hoop coming in. I'm super excited about that. All you sports ball fans over there. Okay, we got that. Let's get a little bit of black wash in there. Okay. No black wash there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't usually do this, but after this wash, I'm gonna have to kind of probably leave these here just because there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of detail in these 5 models. I'll show them when I'm kind of done with all 5 of them. But there's a ton of detail on these, which is good, but man, like I've already been going for an hour. And if you remember when I painted Half Tusk, and for me, big models have always been easier to paint. I don't know if Dennis and other people in the chat feel that way. When you paint these bigger models, things just tend to go faster, I feel like. Surface area is bigger. Details easier to pull out. You don't have to slow down because it's not as small. Smaller surface areas like these guys, I gotta be where I put the paint has to be purposeful. Whereas a lot of times on those bigger models, you can be like, okay, yeah, that's that. Okay. Cool. Yes, that's actually a really good point. Dennis said less finicky edge highlighting because it's just the edges are more apparent. Whereas on these guys, I can't be like, oh, I can just right real quick. Let's see how we're doing here. All right. Yeah, that's true. On those bigger models, some people aren't going to be looking at the smaller details. They're just kind of looking at the big picture. Very, very true. Let's see what we're working with here. Now let's get this black wash on the skeleton, and then we're going to get a good overview before we move on for the day. Cool. Yeah, a lot of times when I'm doing basing, I'll put a quick wash over the textured area of the base because I just want it to pull out, not really pull out, but get the low points. And then it's easier for me to highlight and pull out those higher points. Okay. Almost got it. Nailed it. Okay. All right, let's get a look at it all. Like I said, I'm not going to go back and highlight today. I'm going to kind of just leave it where we are, let the wash set in. Just so that way I got enough time to do the other things I got to do today before I play some EDH Commander for Magic. So let's kind of look at it with the champion in mind. So her next to her banner. Totems. Totem. Totem. Ooh, maybe move that over a little bit. Cool. Kind of a nice little view of the totems as they kind of get washed. I'll fold them up a little bit here. So I'm gonna say this again. This little hand tool was nice. This Citadel spring-loaded base helped with the models a lot. I think it helped with the camera. Kept my fingers off of it. The only time I didn't do it is when I had to do the small areas that I didn't want to get in there and clamp this with. But I'm a fan of this. I'm glad Eric turned me on to that. All right, so do a quick view of all of these dudes. We already got one of the Orc, which she turned out really good. So we'll go one by one. We'll start with the banner. It's the banner, and obviously these aren't done yet. It's just wash. Okay, but definitely a cool look these models have. So that's a gnarly banner. That's probably the coolest banner I've seen so far as like a deathly dead kind of banner. The one I got for one of the other champions, he's a skeleton. It's like a person that's on fire. It's really cool looking. Let's see here. So we got this guy right here. Cool. I like this. Got this weird totem. We're all a little weird. We're all a little weird here. Cool. This is the weirdest totem. It's like weird skinned animal on stilts. And then the last totem. So, and obviously, once again, her turned out super good. So we got the totems. I'm gonna go back and highlight. I don't know if I'm gonna do. I think the next video I do tomorrow will show these. I think I might finish them off camera just so I can, and then I'll show them on camera done. Just because there's not a lot of highlighting I'm going to do with this. The contrast kind of did their job, and I'm just painting the bases black. So I think I might just do that off camera and then tomorrow start something else and just show this off as the finished product. Um, I'll mull that over. Depends on how late my EDH night goes. Um, but yeah, I like the way that these are coming out. This is a really cool champion. Basically uses these hex kind of totems to put effects on the enemy and also give yourself boons. So she's got a real cool mechanic for sure. And yeah, I'm just excited to play this game. It's just cool. I can't wait for the shops to open back up. So this is a game because these models just are going to look good on the table. Um, they're fun to paint. They have a lot of character, and yeah, I'm just really excited to see people playing this game in person. Um, and Jacob's doing it responsibly. He's not just going to open his doors back up, so that's good. Because I know there's some businesses that they're just going to be like, "Yep, forget it. We're just going to open up and just see what happens." But Final Round always does it the right way, so always proud of my buddy for being a good owner. But make sure that you guys like, subscribe to the channel. Please share that way. If you have people that like painting minis, you have people that like hobbying, they can also enjoy this content. They can just watch, even if they don't watch the full video from start to finish, they can just go through and check out different techniques and maybe some of the chatter, especially when I have guests on and we do paint sessions. Those are going to be a lot of fun. I plan on doing 1 or 2 of those a week at least. So I'm really excited about that. And make sure that if you like what we're doing and you want to support the channel directly, Rage Quit Wire has a Patreon page that you can sign up for and support us for as little bit of, if you just want to send $1 a month our way, anything's appreciated. And we give out things like dice. I think the next thing we're going to give out is t-shirts. Once Chris gets done being kind of sickly, we're going to record a video for our patrons again to explain what some of the benefits are going to be, because we're going to clear that up and kind of rejuvenate it, because you want to refresh that kind of stuff every so often. So make sure that you guys are being safe out there. Don't forget to roll dice and throw some salt, and we will see you all next time. Thanks for joining the chat, guys. You're awesome.